Head, and there he goes. Abyss gonna clean him up.
Olaf goes down. Everyone's just gonna line up here for Lazzy. He's gonna find himself the Quadra. Give it to him. Pentakill.
Priestley with the quad feet.
Gets the ace. Available just spin to win all over.
That game was insane.
Hello everybody and welcome to St. Clair Saints Rainbow Six Siege. My name, Jackson the Pride Brown here tonight, joined alongside Dan, Mr. Danner's Banner. We have some great CollegiateR6 action here tonight. You know, round 2 of playoffs. It's a big time here in this CollegiateR6 community. So Dan, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
Oh, this is going to be interesting. I don't know how to feel. I think we're kind of discussing it a little bit behind the scenes, but we're a little bit uneasy to say the least because of a couple of roster moves that were made so close to the playoffs. Like, this is going to be a little bit awkward because we're going to have Noxu come in. Like, we know, like, over the past couple of games, Big Papa's kind of stepped in for Noxu.
Yep.
Now, Noxu is stepping in for JM Beast, who's also the coach. But it also puts Noxu on a pure support role.
So
which we're not 100% sure.
I've kind of heard otherwise since we talked about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
During for the support role kind of thing, I've heard that they actually are putting him on a different role because they want to put someone with more experience with the roster on a support role, as it will, you know, it's more of a role that you need the chemistry with the team for, rather than the most. So it's gonna be interesting to see what we see here tonight. Noxu, I'd expect to be playing a more of a support role still, but not that hard support that we do see. So we'll see what comes to light with that. But as of for now, like you were saying, yeah, pretty scary stuff. Roster changes coming through this close to, you know, well, not even this close to playoffs. Actually, in playoffs, they've already won a game. Then the roster change comes through. Overall, I don't think it's a bad call on what they did. You know, it's allowing Jake to strictly coach and will allow them to develop more in that department. And then they also have Noxu here over now, who will be able to get more developed with the roster and whatnot. Yes, very scary time to implement it. However, better late than never.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not like this is Noxu's first start with us, at least. I mean, he was practicing with the team for the longest time. He started pretty much majority of the initial season, had a little bit of a breather kind of in the mid to late season for CollegiateR6, but now, of course, making his return here tonight in a massive matchup here versus the New Jersey Institute of New Jersey Institute of Technology, or NJIT, as we might be referring to it during the broadcast.
Oh, definitely. There's no way I'm saying New Jersey Institute of Technology every time there's a round that goes by or something like that. But yeah, like you're saying, NJIT.
Yeah. That or New Jersey or something like that.
For sure. Yeah, so going forward here tonight, we did have a rough idea on map selects here. So I know for a fact we see Oregon map 3. I can't quite remember here map 1 and 2.
I've got you for that. So map 1, where we're going to be starting off with, is Coastline. We've not seen that in a long time, to be fair. It's usually one of those maps that people have kind of fallen out of favor for, but for whatever reason, it slips through the cracks here today, and we're going to be playing on that. Saints are going to attack first on that map. Then going into map number 2, it's going to be a Saints like tried and true favorite. We're going to Cafe. Saints get the attack there as well. And then, yes, if we get to game 3, we do get to play on Oregon, which notoriously has been awful for St. Clair in competitive settings. That being said, the curse is lifted. They have won on this map before, but it definitely took them a while to kind of get around to it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Completely agree with you on that one there. And so going forward with this, I like the map 2 select. I like the Cafe. I think the Saints can really take that one here. And the map 1 is going to be a wild card. I feel like that's really anybody's game to win. Whoever plays it better. Like you said, it's a map we don't see as much here, just overall in general. Not with just the Saints, but as in the whole community as a whole right now. It's a map that's less commonly picked. So we see that come to light. That one's more of a wild card, something that we haven't really seen a whole lot of. We can see any kind of outcome. I like the Cafe. I don't like the Oregon. That's the thing we're kind of looking at here right now. So personally, I have very, very large confidence in whoever takes game 1.
Fair enough. I could definitely...
Just because at that point, you have a Saints map that's really good, and then you also have a map that is really good for NJIT. You look at things there, it's like, okay, like, this is very interesting.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to remember, like, how Coastline even went. I felt like there was a lot of people hanging around on rappels back in the day. And I remember, I think it used to be, like, Blackbeard's Playground. But I can't really remember like anything as of recently, because even in Pro League, like I don't feel like I see it a whole heck of a lot.
You really don't. You really don't. So that's going to be a big one that's like actually really interesting for us to come through. It's going to give us a little bit more of a new thing to cast, kind of. It's going to be a little bit more exciting for us on our end, just being able to see a map that's, haven't been able to see as much in the last, year or so, whatnot. But with that being said, NJIT, very similar skill level to the Saints here. I know the guys over there in the nest right now. They've been watching some VOD. They've been watching some stuff. They know that this is not going to be any kind of, cakewalk. They also know it's not going to be some monster of a team they're going to play against. They know that if they're going to want this win, they're going to have to work for it. And they're just going to have to play their game, play their consistencies and whatnot. I really do think the Saints have a good potential of being able to take this game here tonight. It all is just going to come down to who brings their A game here in this series.
Absolutely. There's very little time to really get warmed up here. So you have to come out the gate swinging. And of course, with these CollegiateR6 Premier League playoffs, everything is single elimination. So you don't get like a backup best of 3 if something goes wrong. No, it's like one series lost and you're done. So it's
it's so scary.
It's
so
tense.
scary.
It's really tense.
Yeah, I mean, it makes the pressure in the room so hard right now, right? Like, you see the guys, like, obviously a little bit probably stressed out, just comes with the regular nerves that come with playing a match of this severity. However, it's just at this point, like, it's going to be very interesting to see the roster changes. I know we already touched on them, but it's definitely something we're going to be keeping an eye for, as well as the maps. And here we go, looking at this roster here now. We do see those 5 on here, but this is actually not completely accurate. If you
Still got Big Papa.
Yeah, no Big Pop on there. No Kinger. Where's he at? But no, so we do still have Matthew Energize Sorensen, Corson Noxu Haddad, Dylan Rapid Chapman, and then John Vazix Telapano. They're all going to come through here tonight as per usual. JM Beast, he still will be in the nest with the guys here tonight, but more in a coaching role. Mm-hmm. Good to see, allowing him more time to focus on coaching and whatnot like that. They can maybe do a little bit more in that department side of things. But with that being said, once again, Noah Big Papa Kinger or King coming in here tonight and going to be coming in once again through the last few games. He's showed some light to the team. He's showed that, he's able to stay there and, be able to contribute to his own will and whatnot. You can see all the players here now. And, he did his job.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, like with Big Papa coming back onto the squad, it's been a mixed bag, to say the least. We've seen games where he just straight up busters out. However, we've seen massive pop-off moments here for Big Papa. Clutches that should not be doable in competitive. We've seen him pull it off, and it's awesome to see. And of course, with the rest of the squad, they're ready to go fantastic in their own right. We are getting ready to get things started. Of course, rest in peace, Kickstar being a shutout right at the very start of the match. Just unfortunately lost a good one over this past week.
Yeah, for sure, indeed. Big rest in pieces there for him. Did a lot for the esport community, and it's always tough to see people like that go. And as the community developing here so much right now, and all the people who contributed so much to it, it's really tough sometimes. But nonetheless, we appreciate everything you did for this R6 community moving forward and whatnot. But here we are. It is going to be St. Clair College getting their bans and protects here through and whatnot. So that is going to be Lion getting banned actually from St. Clair. Something that we don't see banned crazy amount. The Jackal, more of a typical ban that we do see on a more of a regular basis. However, Lion, that's something that's like very, very interesting to actually see come through here. Dan, I know you might have a little bit of an opinion on that Lion ban coming through.
I mean, it's something we've been kind of seeing a little bit more often here. And I mean, the team that St. Clair was playing up against last week were really making some solid use of the Lion pick, and I think Saints were just fed up with it, so we're going to take that off the board alongside the Valkyrie, which is standard.
Typical. And same with the Jackal, even, to be completely honest, in my eyes. I've seen Jackal banned plenty of times, and Mira. So we have a very kind of basic one here. The Lion's the only one that may be considered a little bit of an oddball, but not even that much at that. As you said, it has been coming to light more often here lately, and we have been seeing that get the banned here more often. And here we go, Coastline. It's so interesting to even just see this map again. Like, man, like I remember sitting here years ago, like shortly after the beta, just watching it on Twitch and whatnot, and you see Coastline there, and it's giving me throwback memories here right now.
Man, I was just getting used to the standard Saints lineups and the standard Saints like map picks and strategies and such, and now we get ourselves a whole big old map.
Yeah, so we do see 6 picks come here from each side, actually. That is going to be the Castle and Maverick coming through from Gangstology and Smup. So that's going to be interesting to see, as well as, other than that, pretty basic kind of picks here from a majority of sides. But with that being said, we will see St. Clair on the attack here first. And this is going to be big. You know, I said game one is really where we could find a series winner, honestly, early in this one. This is where I personally find that, you know, whoever takes this game one will have a very big head start going forward in the rest of the series and makes it, you know, swing a lot more in their favor. And with St. Clair College also on the attacking side to start things off, I mean, this is a massive attacking side because I'm not as worried here about Saints defense. I haven't really been worried about Saints defense as much throughout the semester. It's the Saints offense which will, you know, cost them some games sometimes.
Yeah, we've seen many times where like the Saints defense are just like pretty well a brick wall, but unfortunately they give out too many of those rounds during their attacking side of things and they get themselves kind of stuck. But meanwhile, to introduce our players on this side of New Jersey, we do have solid Maj Variant, Smop, Rage, and War Hazard going to be representing NJIT here tonight. And starting off first attack, of course we see Noxu, and rather than what he was doing before, where he was kind of the flank watch, he's going to be picking up the sledge to start things off here. So he's actually going to be one of the first few people inside the site, which is going to be a little interesting.
Yeah, the people I'd anticipate to see, you know, going into these sites early and making these plays that are really quick and snappy are going to be Vazdex, as per usual. I mean, he's a player that we see do that on a regular basis, and he does it consistently and well. So no surprises there, but Noxu going to be the one who's running alongside him. Like you said, playing that sledge. He's going to be the one who maybe will help Vazdex find some of these opening picks and whatnot. So that's going to be interesting to see how all of that develops as well. There is a player on the stairs here. Rapid's holding the angle, but no reason for NJIT to get aggressive here.
Yeah, take their time here. Vazdex is the only one really even showing any sort of threat. Using his utility, gonna make the move, and sure enough, is gonna get the jump here onto War Hazard. Fire it around, start things off huge. Nice double kill, Vazdex.
Beautiful plays. He should not have been allowed to get two there. He gets two there though, so that's very good stuff there for him. But Rage will take out Big Papa shortly after. Now in a 3-on-3, Rapid will get shot at, and he actually does get peppered down. He does have this player's intel slightly, but trying to find some loose shots through the wall, nothing going to come through from it. Now 3-on-3 health slightly in favor of New Jersey. Let's see how this one goes here moving forward. And, you know, that Vazdex really opened things up, but they haven't been able to really capitalize on it as much as they would have liked.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how the Saints actually breach this here. Rapid still has 3 of his breaching charges, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get into position to actually make use of this, especially not if he's dead. It's going to be all up to Noxu. Welcome back to the squad, man. Can you clutch a 1v3? We'll have to see just a second. He started things off right. He does take care of Rage, who is on a bit of a fragging spree. So taking out the one, you just got to deal with Smump and Maj Variant right here, right now. Creeping on through, still, of course, has the ACOG there on that thing, so he's got some massive zoom-in capabilities. But we'll have to see. Moving up the stairwell. Anybody there? There's a couple of traps nearby. Smump, though, has the jump. Never mind. Noxu, not quite going to find it. So close, but no cigar.
Yeah, very great try, though, at that, right? Turning a 1v3 to a 1-on-1 is always, you know, a good sight to see. It's a light of hope saying, hey, like, you know, a 1v3 might have been a little bit too much there, but you really showed that you can just piece out some players, make some big plays, and whatnot, making things all work out in that department side of things. But NJIT will take that round number 1 and takes a little bit of a head start over the SCC here now, and St. Clair now falling back a little bit. Very similar picks to last time, so we will see Noxu once again on Sledge, Big Papa once again on 0, Rapid playing Zofia again, I believe, as well. I think that was the same one, but nonetheless, pretty interesting stuff there. But we are actually going to be getting ready here to help into our next round. Just let us cut back onto the actual gameplay screen here in just 1 second. So here we are back into things now, and it is going to be NJIT. Like I said, leading by that 1 round, now getting prepped up for their defense setup. And St. Clair on the attack. How do you think they're going to do here, Dan? Do you think they approach things a little bit differently?
Okay, so considering that was actually still extremely close, I definitely think they can turn this one around a little bit. I feel like Rapid went down, unfortunately, just a tad like prematurely than he probably would have wanted to. Of course, obviously you want to live as long as possible, but still had some utility left on that Zofia that just unfortunately did not really get used. And then we'll have to see what ends up happening here. Vazdex got off to a fantastic start. I mean, we joke around about Mr. 45 seconds, but this time, like, even though he's the first person into the site, he's holding his own. And honestly, a nice start here for Noxu. Could be the momentum we need to see him get right back into the swing of things here on his team.
Yeah, like you're saying, like the nickname is Mr. 45 Seconds for a reason. Like he did only last 45 seconds that round, but in that 45 seconds, it was very good use of that 45 seconds he left. Once again,
Right.
Vazdex picks up another one there onto Warzard. Then another! Vazdex going crazy! That's gonna be 2 for him. Gangstology will get traded out. Vazdex goes hunting, picks up a third. Vazdex cannot be stopped right now. He will get shut down there from Varian. However, sets up his team into a 3-on-2 with a lot of map control. How can't you be happy with this round so far?
I mean, it's a fantastic start, but this is actually relatively similar to what NGIT just had to deal with. Unfortunately, it's not the 3-on-3 that they were looking for, but Rapid is actually on site. He's planting the diffuser. 2-on-2 is Big Papa here to back Rapid up. That's going to be the big question. Going to force them to move. Bingo, there's Big Papa.
The
Rapid's down, which means in theory, Solid, yep, he spots it out. He's going to be able to stop this. A very valiant attempt, but even though the player advantage was not in the favor of NJIT, they managed to hold their position strong, and they managed to take round number 2.
Yeah, it seems like they can get the external kind of push going, getting those first few picks, getting the line of defense, and get a little bit control of the map. But when it comes down to that, a lot of their util is gone and whatnot, and they kind of seem like they don't really have an answer once it gets a little bit closer. You know, they get onto that point, they have players around them, and they just don't really have an answer to, you know, what New Jersey Institute is doing. So we'll see what happens now going into this one. A very still similar pick, because things have been working not terrible for St. Clair. The one thing that does concern me a little bit here is these are, you know, you could argue that St. Clair should be leading 2-0 right now. Personally, I think that was a big round for Saints. I think they should have had it. We should be looking at a 1-1 scoreline here right now, but that is in the past. I think one thing that is concerning for the Saints, though, is the fact that Vazdex has now done this twice in no. They're going to be looking for it.
I was just about to say the exact same thing, because how many times is Vazdex going to be able to breach onto site and 1v2? You're going to run out of gas eventually. They're going to figure it out.
He got a 1v3 that round, and then the first one he got a 1-on-2. So, like, at that point, if you have your entry frag, you're getting 2 to 3 picks a round, you have to be able to close out on that one and follow through with it. Not the case so far, but hoping to maybe see something a little bit different here moving forwards. However, with that being said, NJIT leading 2-0, and the defense setup is coming through here now, but as of things, St. Clair, they got to pick up one, and they got to find one here soon.
Yeah, of course, we might be in a position very similarly to what we were just talking about during the pre-show, where if the Saints aren't able to turn this thing around, they might just lose out too many rounds on the attacking side. And even though they may have a fantastic defense, will it be flawless? The likelihood is that it's not going to end up being flawless, and sometimes that's where they kind of get screwed in the end. So we'll have to hope for the side of the St. Clair squad that they can turn this one around. That being said, though, NJIT looking fantastic to start things off, able to clutch things out in beautiful fashion. And Saints slowly but surely making their move on forward. Vazdex, are you in the building yet? Not quite.
About to be, though. So let's see what he can do this time around. He is firing some loose shots here through and whatnot. Doesn't really connect onto anything with that, though. But I think they are looking. Solid might have just gathered a little bit of intel through that little bit of hole there, but doesn't look like they're really playing off it too much, but he actually does ping that out, so I think he does 100% have that intel gathered now that Gangstology is here. And now this is just going to make it even more obvious. Gangstology going to be a concern, but Vazdex comes in here. Oh, that was a big one. He needed that frag.
That's definitely a little bit painful here. 3-on-4, 2-on-4 now as Noxu does end up going down. Diffuser is still in the hands of Gangstology, but the only backup there for him is going to be Big Papa there on the 0. And yes, he's going to be able to kind of help him through via the cameras, but otherwise, if you're going to try to out-frag these 4, it's going to be a little bit difficult. Gangstology can't exactly move the fastest there through hard breaching either, depending on which way they go. But I do like they've kind of grouped up here. They're going to try and 2-man army this for the rest of these 4.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see what comes through. But I mean, Big Papa and Gangstology have to make something crazy come through and happen here right now. And the map control really isn't there for them. So they know they're still going to have to do a breach with only 2 players. It's not easy because as soon as you find one, that intel's immediately revealed to New Jersey and they can just, you know, follow up on those picks. So we'll see what happens in just a sec. Maybe some intel there from Big Papa. Big Papa's got he's got a nice angle.
Yeah, he's got the nice angle. However, the camouflage there, I think it's from War Hazard, was actually pretty solid. It's going to be some damage done on the War Hazard. However, of course, with the one-shot headshot nature of Siege, that can easily just be flipped on its head nice and quickly. And the Saints are running out of time. 50 seconds left on the clock. Variant hanging on by a thread. Has a solid angle, however. How are they going to breach this? Big Papa right on the border of the site. They still have nitro cells. Going to fire one out. More of a preemptive measure. We'll see if that comes into play. Diffuser is down. Gangstology down. It's going to be all up to Big Papa to somehow 1v4 this. I mean, we've seen him make epic comebacks, but he's getting close on.
Yeah, he gets one there. He goes to try to find the second immediately. Does spot out a third, but, like, you know, he knew where the players were. It's just a situation like that, just not easy to win, and he will fall there. So, New Jersey picking up a third, now leading 3-0. This makes me very concerned as of now, because I said that, you know, St. Clair, right? It's going to come down to map 1, and it's going to also come down to the attacking side, because St. Clair needing to win a couple of these attacking rounds hasn't been the case so far. They haven't been able to pick one up. They are going to move back onto the second floor at Hookah Lounge here and Billiards Room, but you know, you could have the argument saying, hey, you know, we're only 3 rounds in, no reason to be concerned, but it is pretty concerning when you see map 3 Oregon and when you see the score of this game here right now.
Absolutely, and I don't know why, it might just be me, but whenever I see somebody like picking their spawn location and it says random, that makes me concerned that do you even have a plan of action? But would love to be pleasantly surprised here, and of course referring to Noxu in that situation there, or it might have just been an unfortunate slip up, but we'll have to see moving forward. Taking a look at the kill feed a little bit here. Maj Variant starting things off with a bang on that Mozzie, has 7 eliminations to his name as of right now, followed up closely by Rage and Vazdex, to say the least here. Some of the Saints still trying to get themselves on the board, but still early in this match.
Oh, 100%. Definitely still early in the match. The biggest thing here right now is the Saints, in my eyes, just need to find a minimum of 2 rounds for themselves here on the offense. That's what I think I'd be comfortable. You know, being down 4-2, definitely not ideal, but being down 4-2 is, you know, better than what it could be, right? Yeah, 5-1, a 6-0, something like that. So I'm looking to, you know, Saints find 2 rounds here. I'm content with how they are going to be moving forwards, but as of now, looking a little scary. They are going to try to make something go here on the offense. Vazdex, let's see if he's able to make another big entry frag. We'll see in just a moment. But that is going to be, you know, the bombs getting located out, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, the Saints looking to just shoot at some cameras and get some entries. But Vazdex not playing as aggressive this time.
Okay, I don't mind it. Let's have him for some of this end game scenarios rather than just trying to rush on in and like get what you get and hope that everybody can clutch up. So we'll have to see. Everybody's still alive after 30 seconds. That is definitely a little bit different considering the rounds that we've been having. Smump going to be getting tagged from very long distance. Vazdex playing this Ash this time by more so like a defender almost. Like as if he's almost already in post plants, but we're not even there quite yet.
I really like, because the Saints don't need to play that aggressive play style. Like, we haven't seen it all season, right? You know, the break in, get your entry frags, follow up on it, blah, you know, make it work out in the end of the day. However, I'd like this, right? Look at, like, one thing with Rainbow Six is you have so much time to work with. Gangstology, unfortunately, going down there. Rage with a really nice pick, though. And, but yeah, like, that's what I was saying, right? I mean, you see the very aggressive Saints pushes coming out this whole season. And now I like to see it slow down. You have 3 minutes to work with. You have plenty of time. You're only halfway through the round right now. And you've already had things a little bit fairly developed now. So let's see what happens. Some good angles held all around by the defensive side. It's going to be Big Papa droning in, trying to see if he can find anything.
And this time it's actually going to be Noxu and Rapid, rather, who are already inside the site, slowly making their move forward. With Vazdex kind of looking in from the outside. Spots one. Nice snap right onto Variant. And that's going to tie us one up 4-4 with a minute left to go. Crunch time is now. Is that Vazdex who's a diffuser? Yes, it is. So, yeah. So not only to worry about keeping himself alive, but he's also has the main objective. Beautiful shot there from Vazdex. He's in position. Possible plant incoming.
As much as Vazdex goes down there and Rapid will be able to trade it out, I mean, there's no one for Solid. So now we see a 2-on-2. This is where things get a little bit more concerning. Rapid and Big Papa, 2 players that have had a little bit of a slower start here to this game, and now maybe trying to turn things around here a little bit. Big Papa definitely playing more of a supportive role in this one, you know, playing that life, being one of those last players to try to make something work. He's always being in those game time decisions. It could be quite stressful, but yeah, Rapid going to be here getting shot down. Now Big Papa in a 1-on-2 potentially, and, you know, unless he can bait out his teammate or something. I mean, that teammate being down is definitely something that he can look at and kind of assess, because this might be, you know, doable to actually pick up a defuse.
Oh, the Nitro Cell's still up, though. Solid is just going to wait for that plant if he is in the proper position. We'll have to see in just a second. Diffuser is going to get planted, but where is Solid? Turns the corner, sees the downed player. They're going to get it out, but he's got his back turned. good night for this round. Round 4 going to NJIT.
You know, I really think that Rapid should have been looking the other way there on his down, because when you're down, you can still see, right? Like you can still like look around while you're like crawling.
While you're crouched down, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, if Rapid was looking the other way there, you would have been able to call out the player flanking on the behind there and able to clean up Big Papa. So a little bit of a mishap there from the Saints, and they do drop a fourth. And now I don't know about you, dinners, but personally for me, this is now when I see Saints going into like more of like a dire need to win a round kind of mode. It's just getting to a point, right, where NJIT already, you know, over halfway to closing out this game. St. Clair yet to get on the board. Something has to change. Something has to, you know, they might have to make a gamble call. And I would support it right now just because of the position they're in.
If New Jersey gets one more round, this is when you hit the emergency red button, in my opinion here.
You play
So,
out of your mind and just
like,
see whatever you can do.
like comfort picks, comfort strategies, even though this isn't necessarily a map that they're necessarily comfortable with, it's something that's going to have to come out. And it's really, really weird to actually see Thatcher get let through the pick and ban phase. I can't believe we didn't notice this sooner, but Big Papa's going to be picking this up this time by. But it must be something about Coastline where it's maybe not as prominent, but with how much like utility that New Jersey has been dumping into these sites, especially like trying to deal with Solid on the mute. Maybe some of these EMP grenades are exactly what Saints need to kind of turn this one around.
Yeah, completely agreed. So it's going to be the defensive setup now. Time coming to an end. And we are going to be getting ready to hop into our round number 5 here. A big one at that. Like you were saying, you know, this is the last round you're kind of looking at where you can, you know, play your team strats, play what you've been doing in scrims, play like what you know until, like you said, you hit that big emergency red button and, you know, you try to switch things up. But here we go. Round getting kicked off underway. Vazdex, he played a little bit slower here last round, and it looks like that might have only been a one-round thing as he's already made his way up towards a window here now, and I think he wants to get into this site as quick as possible.
We know he wants to make an impact, but at the same time, he's got to keep himself alive. So we'll have to see as he moves on forward. Gangstology is already looking to start breaching through some of these walls. The MP grenade is going to get some good utility out as well so that they can even breach through that site to begin with. And honestly, like Gangstology, I know he's playing the pure support basically this time by. Now with the new like the roster setup, constantly with the diffuser and constantly on the hard breach, but definitely having a hard time in his engagement so far. But Rapid, another player with a bit of a slow start, but turning it around at least to start things off. Fazdex, good find right onto Variant once again. And honestly, Saints are somehow turning this one around. Rapid going to find himself yet another. It's all up to Solid and Warhazard to try and clutch us out now here for NJIT.
Yeah, you know, they got the setup there, so, you know, it is going to be hard as Solid now in a 1-on-5. It's next to impossible at this point in time, but he's going to try to do whatever he can. Solid will run into one player here, does get a pick off onto Vazdex, and Vazdex does go down, but Solid now, his location is revealed, and they should be able to get a plant down of some sorts. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen the diffuser start to get planted quite yet, but now Gangstology going to pop that one through, and Solid now trying to make the play off it. Runs into one, that's going to be Noxu. Noxu shutting him down, though. And as you were saying, you know, right in the beginning of that round, Vazdex, you know, definitely don't want to hurt his team by getting too aggressive when not needed and whatnot there in that department. But there's also that very same argument right now, right? That's, you know, Vazdex is a player that's really just the one who's opening things up for St. Clair, the one that's making the massive impacts on the round. I mean, he's been having a game for himself right now. And to be completely frank, none of the other Saints right now are really kind of even close to him on that scoreboard.
Absolutely, and you could kind of see the sigh of relief that was in the player cameras that popped up just a second ago. Like everybody's just kind of loosening up a little bit. Like, okay, yes, we've got the one. We broke the streak. Let's keep this going here. If they can get themselves another one, they're kind of in that okay positioning when you're switching back over to the defensive side of things. Just going down 5-1 on the switch would be absolutely brutal. But let's see if they can make it like 4-2.
They played their strats there in that last round. It worked out, so I would expect to see it come through here again. Something similar maybe to what they just did in that previous round to close out this half. They're really, really looking to make this a 4-2 rather than a 5-1. There's a massive difference between the two here. So going to be a very big round to, you know, impact the final scoreline of this game potentially. And we'll see what happens, but as of now, it's going to be your Saints getting ready to go on the offense here in just a moment. This is going to be our last round of the half.
One more time around here for Saints on the attack. We need to get one more to even feel like any sort of remote comfort, to say the least. But Getting ready to hop on through. Defense all set up and ready to go. Here comes the Saints. Vazdex leading the charge once again, going basically directly towards the doorways, towards the windows, getting ready to make his move, it looks like. Got to wait for everybody else to kind of be in position to either make some noise or kind of back him up as we see him going towards some of these walls. And that looked completely harmless, and he managed to get first blood out of it. Nicely done there,
Like,
Vazdex.
I feel like if you're another team right now, like playing against Vazdex is just the most annoying thing to deal with in the world, right? Like your round ends, like he does get traded out there, so it is a 4-on-4. They do actually benefit from it kind of there. But yeah, I mean, you start a round, you're 5 seconds into the round, next thing you know, you're already down and out of it. Like you're just sitting there like, what happened? Like this is Rainbow Six Siege. Like what happened?
Yeah, and that was a rapid pick up one more here. Oh my gosh, he's going to try and make this play happen. He's pre-fires and he's going to get him down. Solid taken down. One more shot. He's living by a thread in this situation, but he's going to live for just a little bit longer. Variant basically going to be anchoring this first site. Noxu going to find one more. Saints in perfect position and make this a 2-4.
Yeah, they have the intel. Variant, he will take down Noxu, but there's still so many players there that he will have to deal with in just a moment. And Big Papa definitely going to be one of them. Pokes his head up, but Big Papa shot down. Now a 1v2. I mean, this is actually getting a little bit scary.
Oh my.
Oh no, Gangstology down as well. This is a 1v1 Rapid versus Variant, and they're both very minimal HP. Some drones are coming through potentially, and I don't know if the intel's there. I think Variant knows exactly where this player is, and it's going to be Rapid. It makes me very concerned for him. That was literally next to hitting his head. I mean, Rapid, dude, I am so scared for you, Rapid. He does still have that intel. He does still have that player, and Rapid cleans it up through the wall. St. Clair Saints take round 6 and end the half 4-2. I mean, that was sketchy, though. Like, that was, I hated that gunfight. I mean, I would hate to be in that gunfight.
Oh my goodness, there was without question clenching was had across all of Collegiate for that play there. Rapid, I am so surprised he actually engaged the fight rather than like
sometimes
trying
it's better,
to just sit it out. But at the same time, yeah, you did mention that the player like already heard, I believe it was like Rapid's grenade launcher was already making a bunch of noise. So he had the idea, and I guess meeting them halfway, and that was so close that the player on the side of NJIT did not actually get Rapid through the wall, and it puts us in a relatively decent position considering how this game started.
Oh, 100%. Considering it being down 4-0 to now a 4-2 scoreline, definitely looking good. But you got to start off the defensive side just like how you left off on the offensive side if you want to still come through with this one. Evening up the scoreline, something along those lines will make things look real nice right here, right now. But with that being said, we are getting ready to go into this next one here. The defense is coming through. All the character select coming out from everybody there. And you got any opinions there on the operator select? You know, pretty basic there for the offensive side. And, you know, there is some pretty basic defensive side of picks here as well, but anything out of the ordinary?
I mean, like, looking at NJITs, it's basically a relatively like standard attack. You got the Iana differences and whatnot. But even though it's standard, it's not necessarily like what the Saints were running, so it's still different in that regard. And then going to see Big Papa on the smoke, that is usually a rapid special. And of course, Vazdex is thinking about something cheeky here.
Oh my
Is he going to blow this nitro cell off the start? If he has the right idea, he fires away, but it's not going to make contact. Cheeky little play, but that nitro cell, that's a useful piece of utility for late game that you are not going to have any longer. But
I mean, you think
we'll
Vazdex is still going to be alive late game?
Oh,
I mean,
well, it doesn't matter if he gets a frag right off the start.
100%, 100%, and a second. Like, I mean, Vazdex is having a day for himself here. Bring out the tractors, because Vazdex is farming, and that is going to be war as they're taking him down. But with that being said, you'll go 2 for 1 any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing up against Vazdex is like trying to swat away a mosquito. You might kill it, but eventually the sucker already bit you. So I guess he won in the end, right? So it's like just so difficult to try and deal with. Constantly getting the Saints in these like player advantage situations. With that being said, though, we've seen NJIT not be like too really bothered being a player down. They've been able to get some solid value out of their defensive side of things. We'll have to see if they're just as accurate on the attack.
Yeah, well, I do think like you're saying about that mosquito, it is pretty funny because they always come back too, and Vazdex always comes back. He's never scared to do it again, and that's one thing that blows my mind too is the fact that he's being able to let away with it consistently. It's the fact on everybody can go outside and make a few big plays every now and then, whatnot, but the fact of how consistent he performs it is absolutely unreal. Definitely an impressive note there for Saints Gaming in general, and here we are now in a 3-on-3. This was just a 4-on-3 moments ago, so let's see if the Saints can, maybe regain that player advantage.
This defense just got completely flipped on its head after that grenade from Smump, because Big Papa got completely destroyed, and you bring a smoke for, like, denying plant situations. He had 3 smoke grenades in his pocket, of course, waiting for the end, but unfortunately, you get picked out, and that smoke pick basically does nothing. So it's definitely a little bit unfortunate there. A solid shot on the side of Smump, to say the least, as we have ourselves a 3-on-3 with 40 seconds on the clock. It looks like Warhazard needs to make a move quickly, and Noxu's going to at least stop the first one, getting the kill on the Smump.
Yeah, very good pick there to at least provide that player advantage back into them. They do have Noxu's intel, and he is weakened down a little bit, so that might cause for some sort of impact on the round. But as of now, Saints' setup is looking pretty solid. Some utility has been sent through now, and it will result in Gangstology losing his life. Now, what happens in result of that? Do we find another pick transfer off it? Yes, Rapid will go down. Last player alive being Noxu. He's weak. He's in a 1-on-2. The position not looking too great for him. I don't know if he got spotted out, but he is going to go for a repeat on this angle. Flash goes off, doesn't really get impacted by it. And that's actually a flash from him. He finds one, and does he know where this last player is? I don't think he knows where this last player is.
I mean, at least he got the last player, but he turns away at the wrong second, unfortunately, there for Noxu. But a beautiful shot nonetheless here from NJIT. Catches Noxu just barely out of position and takes him down, and that was so close. Noxu had the right idea, the nade, or got the kill on the person planting the diffuser literally seconds too late. So it was already planted. His hand was forced. He had to make a play. And it's just got to be frustrating to deal with, as they're now, or NJIT is now 2 rounds away from taking the win in Game 1.
It's got to be frustrating for sure, because if you're the Saints, you look at this, right? And you say, out of these 7 rounds, how many of these rounds out of the 5 rounds we lost, out of how many of those rounds did we have a player advantage with? Going into that round, which is what's really going to hurt, right? You have to have, a 60% plus success rate on rounds you have a player advantage in, where you're not seeing that from the Saints here right now. They'll get those picks. Vazdex is doing a great job opening things up. He's currently seeing an 11-7, and so he's doing a phenomenal job with that. It's just, like I was saying, that main concern going to be at the end of the day when the cleanup is kind of having to come through there, and they just can't manage to find those last few picks. And New Jersey Institute, I mean, like you were saying the last round, a player down doesn't concern them too much.
Yeah, they keep going, business as usual, just try to make their plan, just maybe try to compensate for some of the areas that had been messed with a little bit. And then one thing to take note of already, as we're about to be hopping into this round, Noxu got blasted by a grenade or a shotgun or something. He is not starting this off with full health. Vazdex looking for a cheeky little spawn peek, but nobody home this time by. But I mean, at this point, this is just par for the... What the heck? Never mind! Alrighty. Here.
That's awesome. You were talking about it last round. You're like, oh, useful piece of utility, could be used end of the round. Well, how about 10 seconds in? That is going to be Vazdex with that, what's it called again? Sorry, I can never remember the name of those things. The Nitro Cell, yes. I always called it Blast Pack, and they've ripped on me for it. But yeah, the Nitro Cell going to come through there from Vazdex in a big way. Will find himself a pick. If you're Rage, you're definitely raging over that one. I mean, that is not something, that is the last thing you're going to expect to happen to you.
Well, I mean, St. Clair has the player advantage, which means NJIT is going to win this round. So we'll have to see how this goes out for now. The big thing I'm, of course, going to be worrying about, Big Papa, where's your hiding spot? Are you in a good position to stay towards this late game? It's easier said than done, absolutely. And Vazdex is eventually going to get mowed down here solid, just trickling them down slowly but surely. Smump from below, but Gangstology going to get his first elimination of this entire match. Finally, getting them something on the board, but a good one at that.
Yeah, if Rapid swings that angle, he has a pick, but definitely not a angle he's really too crazy comfortable with wanting to swing right now. But Gangstology, same thing, vice versa. Rapid will find War Hazard. Gangstology has a couple players lined up in front of him. That diffuser does go down right near Gangstology as well. So, I mean, the pressure is going to be near bottom stairs right now, and that's exactly where Gangstology is located. He's in mid stairs, and, you know, I think the St. Clair Saints, they have a fairly decent setup here. They should be coming away with this round. Caster's Curse, knocking on wood.
Yeah, so the player advantage, of course, still in NGIT's favor. They're still winning this round, I believe, and Maj, his variant, going to be able to pull this one off. A little bit tough. He started off right, though. Rapid does end up going down. Noxu from out of nowhere, though, going to finish the job and going to make me eat my words. Nicely done there to get Saints back on the board here. Catching them a little bit from behind, taking them down, and keeping St. Clair in the game.
100%. So I believe that pushes us now to 5-3. Okay, this is very, very workable. Like, it really is just going to come down to these next couple rounds, right? These next few ones going to be absolutely crucial to coming through and winning this map, and maybe not even this map, this series potentially, right? The way we looked at, or at least the way that I've looked at so far, is that Oregon is like a beast at the end of the tunnel, just waiting for them. If they have to make it there, like if they have to get to that end of the tunnel, it's really scary.
Well, I'll give you the prediction. If Saints go to Oregon, I think NGIT win.
Oh, 100%.
They'll take a game 3 situation, which means for Saints to take this series, at least in my opinion. Again, absolutely love to be wrong, love to be proven wrong. I love seeing everybody push themselves to the limit. But from just past matches, from what we've seen, if St. Clair don't win here on Coastline, which is a bit of a wild card, like you said, and we have Cafe, which is their tried and true. If they can't take it on those two and they have to go to Oregon, it's NJIT, at least in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, we both have the exact same perspective here going into this game on, you know, if the Saints are going to win, this is how they're going to do it. If NJIT is going to win, this is how they're going to do it. And, you know, I don't think we're going to be really crazy far off. So with this Coastline being a wildcard pick, it's been pretty wildcard-like so far, right? I mean, we just saw Vazix get a kill with a Nitro Cell last round, and look at him this time. I mean, if he waited there 2 seconds longer, he would have found one, but they obviously would have known exactly where he was.
Oh, yeah, he was the nice little red square saying, hey, shoot me, basically. So good thing he got out of dodge nice and quick, because to be fair, there were people there, but there was like 4 of them, so you probably would not have ended up on the right side of that engagement, but that being said, he can still snake around. That's exactly what we saw him do last time, so we'll have to see moving forward. If we hear ourselves a nitro pack of some sort or nitro cell explosion, we'll know what's up.
He's still looking for aggressive angles. He right now, like currently, Vazix, look at him. Like he's still looking for little angles. Like look, Vazix is the entry fragger that spots anything move on his screen and just gets a clip right into it, right? And you know that's always a good thing for your entries and whatnot. And Vazix has intel that players are here. There's been several drones that have crossed through this, you know, underneath this plywood board barrier or whatnot. So it's interesting to see how things play out there. Vazix though will get tagged down here early, could cause for concern.
Unless he somehow turns this one around. Rage again going to be going down, but Solid going to find a solid attack there onto Rapid. Vazdex with the refrag, however, so still player advantage St. Clair still means nothing. Vazdex with the triple, however, on fire, but he has been knocked down. Will be finally finished off here. 2-on-3 in the favor of St. Clair. I don't know how many times we've said that so far here in this series.
Too much.
Still anybody's game, it feels like at this point. But the big benefit, Big Papa is still alive, and I'll just keep saying it until my face turns blue. Having a smoke in the end game basically just wins you these plant situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be crucial for him to stay alive, you know, for NJIT's attack to come through, and it's going to be really interesting, like you said, keeping him alive is going to be a crucial aspect to this one. Variant and Smup going to be the players to try to make things work here now from New Jersey. Smup, having a little bit rougher of a game, but Variant, he's been that like kind of similar to Vazdex kind of player right now for the side of New Jersey. He's been having a game for himself here right now. He's been a big threat, so definitely don't count, you know, New Jersey out. I mean, obviously St. Clair's not. They've been in a situation many times here tonight, and it hasn't been crazy good for them, so definitely round isn't over until it's over.
Absolutely. If they feel comfortable at this point, they're doing it wrong because they just would have never learned. That being said, Noxu's swinging, but Maj is somehow going to find the headshot necessary while he's sitting there with 1 HP and a dream, or rather 1 HP and a diffuser in this case here, as we have ourselves a 2-on-2. The smokes are coming out here, starting to block sides. Huge nade going to take down Gangstology, which means once again, it's going to be up to Big Papa to somehow finish this off. SMG and shotgun in hand, spray him down. He found one. Maj is literally 1 HP. You just sit back and smoke. Just sit back and smoke.
Yeah, but he's got to make a play on this a little bit here. Oh, Big Papa, he's got the idea. He's got the idea. He gets the play. Kinger, or Big Papa, gonna come through there and pick up another one there for St. Clair. And you can't even see him on his screen. He's over on other people's screens right now giving them fist bumps. But with that being said, good stuff there from him. That's the plays we like to see, right? We've already seen a 1v3 on the Twitter from him there. And it's nice to see that come through here once again in a 1-on-2 fashion this time through. Yes, it was a little bit easier of a situation there for him, but it was more of a dramatic situation. That round was a must win, especially in considering the circumstances you had. You're in a 3-on-2, Noxy picks a fight, gets a player down to a very minuscule HP, you goes to a 2-on-2, your teammate gets naded, you're like, how did this go from a 3-on-2 to a 1-on-2 just like this? But with that being said, St. Clair cleaning up, now only trailing by 1.
I mean, until they actually patch this game to make it so it's a 2-hit headshot elimination instead of 1, like, even if you have the most minuscule of HP, you can just get the perfect flick onto somebody with like a pistol and take them down, right? So it's still so like panic inducing when it's those final shot situations, because you just never know. Of course, I'm calling for Big Papa to like sit back and smoke considering the health, but of course he doesn't know exactly the health of these players, right? So
did he open that up and start shooting at drones while they're on the setting up defense stage? Like, that is ridiculous. Like, Vazdex is like, I can't even wait till the round to start now. Like, I need to go now.
That's just disrespectful at this point. Well, not disrespectful, but it's just so absurdly aggressive. And I just love it.
Like, that's what I'm saying too. Like, you could say, like, you know, if they were losing like consistently, like in here and whatnot or something, like, it'd be a little bit more concerning. But like the fact that like he can come out with 15 frags while doing this, it's just odd. It's just funny, kind of. Like, and I feel bad for any team that has to go against it. Like, yes, you're still winning right now if you're NJIT, but if you went and asked any of these players if they're annoyed with how Vazdex been playing, they're all gonna say yes.
Yeah, I would be spamming question marks in the Twitch chat if he was playing like this and it wasn't working. But because it is, it's like, okay, I guess you can kind of get away with it a little bit, which, I mean, like, I guess it is what it is at this point here, as we do see Vazdex continuing to move around, and even though he's on defense, it does not mean he stands still. He's constantly all over the site, checking basically any possible entrance for the possibility of a run out too, as we do see Rage. His spray did manage to tag Vazdex a little bit, so a little damage done, but just a mere flesh wound. Just keep on trucking through.
Yeah, so Vazdex trying to return the favor a little bit here now. Won't really connect on those initial shots, however, but, you know, a little bit of intel received from both sides here now is, you know, like you were saying, St. Clair still trailing by 1. It's going to be Smup sending in his little decoy there and trying to bait out some players and gather some intel. Vazdex, though, once again with the entry frag, and that's going to be him following it up this second. How many times have we seen Vazdex double skill on our screen today? It's been unreal.
Absolutely. Now Rapid gets one on the board as well, which puts this down into a 5v2. Smokes are going to start coming out here for Big Papa, and he actually flushed out Rapid, and Rapid with the double to finish the job. Beautifully done. We have ourselves a tie series, I do believe. Nice shots, Dylan. Nice shots.
Wow. Okay. So from down 4-0 to back 5-5. Like, this is really interesting, right? I mean, they were down 4-2 at half, so I was like, okay, you know, this is okay. When they lost that first defense round, I got very concerned.
Same.
Like I was really, really concerned then. So now seeing this is, you know, providing some more, you know, like security there for probably everybody in the nest right now, at least feeling that. But they're still on the edge of their toes. This is coming down to the wire. But if you're Saints here now, I feel like you got to be a little bit happy about it because you have that favored side now. You have the defending side at a tie game. I mean, this is looking good in your positioning now.
If it goes overtime, though, it's going to be trouble because that does mean that New Jersey, I believe, starts on... Wait, no, I think they start on the attack.
They start on attack. Yeah, they'll just stay on attack.
Overtime would, in theory, with how defensively favored this is seeming so far, would favor St. Clair. And, of course, it's not win by 2. It's just get to 8 first in that kind of situation if we do get to 6-6. So, in theory, this could be in the favor of St. Clair, but we'll have to see. I'm curious as to some of these additional operator picks being chosen here by New Jersey, because they picked out the Twitch, which is fair when you're trying to like really deal with gadget-heavy, like utility-based defenses. However, you're just getting out fragged by Vazdex. There's nothing gadget about this. You're just getting bodied. So just deal with them. And I don't think Twitch is the answer here. The Nomad I like, though, from Variant.
Yes, for sure. So Vazix and Rapid, two players to definitely keep an eye on right now here for tonight from St. Clair. Combined kills of 28 and 16. What a performance there from them. And yeah, that is going to be some utility sent through here now. Everybody from the side of New Jersey, I feel like they're playing a little bit slower here now because they know what Vazix has been up to lately.
Every window.
Yeah, they got to check every single one now. Like, right, usually you wouldn't be sitting there checking every single window like you're saying, but you never know what one Vazix is behind.
I mean, he set the bar so high to the point of, like, you have to be, like, threatened by everything. And to be honest, like, that's that paranoia play style. Some people can actually thrive in that situation, but a lot of people just get extremely anxious. They either, like, overcompensate or don't do enough. And they put themselves into really rough positions, as we do see Vazix lurking around as per usual. Not running out or anything crazy like that, at least not as of yet, but he's just all over the site.
Well, even then, you know, like the nerves and whatnot, already having such a big factor in this game as it's a single elimination playoff game, right? Where, you know, it's very, you know, tough to come through here and try to play this calmly. Nerves are definitely at an all-time high right now. And Rapid, you know, just tough timing on that one. He was looking at the window momentarily. When he looks away, he does get picked off on it. Gangstology will find a refrag, so good stuff there from him. Vazix picks up some up as well, but Vazix does go down. Now a 3-on-3. We've seen lots of 3-on-2s. We haven't really seen a 3-on-3 in too long. Let's see how this one gets played out, though. St. Clair, the defense side, the hold, still looking fairly well. Big Papa still alive with those smokes. Definitely, I'd say this is slightly in favor of St. Clair.
I do believe Gangstology is literally right above Variant at the spot, too. He made himself a little bit of a murder hole through the floorboards on the second floor. So it's got a little bit of extra, like, bird's eye view attacking routes if necessary, but of course those holes are always like two-way streets, right? So you have to be very careful if you're peeking around one of those. War Hazard not looking very confident right now. Gonna just keep it to the outside for at least a little bit longer. 50 seconds left to go. This is the point where Big Papa's gonna start firing off those smokes, covering off at least one of the sites, one of the entrances, and now, like, New Jersey need to make something happen quick.
Oh, 100%. You know, the time is definitely becoming of the essence. Gangstology, he has some intel, right? Like, I mean, didn't really get any visuals on a certain player there, but he knows they are located here, so yeah, they're going to be playing off of that. I do like Gangstology's kind of positioning here with that as well. Noxu holding up, Big Papa holding up. A lot of, you know, a lot of the rookie talent, maybe not the rookie talent, but the talent that's been a little bit more skeptical here on the roster. Big Papa, Noxu, stuff like that coming through, trying to play this one here now. Gangstology, the IGL, trying to coach them away through this 3-on-3. Let's see how this one plays out. That could be a big one. That is Gangstology finds one, but Noxu and Big Papa go down. There's another one for Gangstology. Only he finds it! He gets the turn on! Gangstology 1v3! Massive clutch for your St. Clair Saints! And they are now leading at match point 6-5.
Oh my goodness. From being bottom frag to clutching it up in a awesome 4K, and I was panicking. He whipped out that nitro cell and got stuck to the wall. It's like, oh no, can he get it back in time? He was able to get it, got the diffuser person, and was able to clutch it up beautifully. Gangstology, the IGL, like you were saying, getting a little bit more accustomed to his role, but clutches it up when it matters here in possibly some of the final rounds of the first game of this playoff series.
You know, like you're saying, final round, St. Clair, match point here now. That's something that I was not anticipating St. Clair to be seeing here in this game, to be honest. When I see 4 rounds go by and none of them favor the Saints, makes me a little concerned here. But when the Saints answer back in the last 7 rounds, they have been 6-1 in the last 7, turning things around on a traumatic basis here. It's exactly what we like to see there from them. Now, can they close out? That's the big thing. They lose this round. We see in overtime. They win this round. They take game 1 here in this very, very big playoff series. Win this game, you go to top 16 in CollegiateR6, and that's a big, you know, reward in itself.
That's way better than 0-7 from last semester, right? Like, holy smokes. Like, I mean, this team's already, like, fantastic and blowing, like, stats out of the water. But being able to possibly get themselves into that position, don't want to count them there just quite yet, of course. Still got lots of siege ahead of us in order to get there. But still, it's looking promising. Vazdex, what are you thinking about this time by, and why am I not even surprised? We're going to have to see, sitting there with 18 eliminations so far in this game. Absolutely going nuts so far. The peak, no, he's just going to take a quick peek and then and leave the premises. Just enough to make everybody anxious.
Yeah, so I think it's 3 seconds, if I'm not corrected, that he has to stand outside before he actually does get pinged out to the opponents, if I'm not corrected.
I
I
think
think
it
it's...
used to be that way, but I think they might have changed it so it's basically instantaneous because too
Oh,
many
okay.
people were abusing it.
Okay,
But
so he basically has like half a second
he
before everybody
literally
gets
has to
pinged.
just zip in and out, make his
Yeah.
play, or otherwise it's useless.
Okay, fair enough. There we go. So, yeah, he does get a little bit of a poke there. You know, his intel might have been revealed, but he's already in a whole different position here now, ready to play off of it. And we do see New Jersey. They do get a little bit of an opening, so they have entered actually inside the actual building here now, and it will result in Rapid going down to
Okay.
Rage. So that's a good start here for New Jersey. It makes me a little bit more concerned for St. Clair because they haven't really played down. You know, they haven't really allowed New Jersey to find a whole lot of first bloods because usually Vastix is the player doing that.
I mean, if there's any solace with losing Rapid, it's the point that his ADS systems are already like set up and good to go. In all reality, like in terms of like defensive setup, his job is done. Just obviously would have wished to have won himself a gunfight or something, but it's not the absolute end of the world. Maybe it'll be St. Clair this time by who manages to pull something off, a player down, but we haven't necessarily saw it too much there.
We just saw 1v3.
With the exception of Gankstology's pop off just a moment ago. But just because you did it once does not mean you'll be able to consistently do it, similarly to what New Jersey has been doing. That they've been so consistent that I would like not doubt them to win a player down.
No doubt. And that is a big one for Vazix, though. Really was getting a little bit concerned that he was maybe gonna whiff a couple of those shots, but he cleans it up in the end of the day and finds the frag. Now that's gonna be now putting us at a 4 versus 4, a situation that is very stressful, especially considering the circumstances right now. And, you know, the one good news here is that St. Clair's on the defense. And that's the big good news right now is the fact that, you know, they kind of have the leverage as of now. It's going to be New Jersey that's forced to push into St. Clair. Big Papa knows this. Does he find a frag off it? He's just hiding behind a desk chair at this point.
Oh my goodness. If he wasn't spotted out there, that was just literally in the nick of time. I don't know if Solid knows he's there. Oh, he saw the shoulder. Nicely done there from Solid to take care of Big Papa. The smoke is down. However, Gankstology, Vazdex, Noxu still in play. Some grenades from Noxu. The Nitro Cell. Vazdex, of course, still just popping off. That is elimination number 20 for him in this game. That's almost unheard of. Let's get ourselves a triple. Can you keep on going here? Diffuser down. He is going to get shut down here. 2-on-2, 10 seconds. Can they make the move?
They have to get the diffuser. Oh, sorry, it is down, or no, they haven't planted it yet. So do they still have to plant?
They still have to plant. Nitro Cell in hand.
And there's Gankstology picks up one, and that's the St. Clair Saints. They will take game 1 in this best of 3 series. You can tell they're fired up in there. What a game! What a game! St. Clair College going to be leading 1-0 here in round 2 of CollegiateR6 playoffs.
With the way that this game started, I never would have guessed this to be the actual conclusion there. The fact that they went essentially flawless on defense. What'd you say? 1 dropped round?
Yeah, so it turned over to defense. 1 dropped round. They went 5-1 on the defensive side of things, and then on the offensive side of things, they went 2-4. So overall, I mean, in the last 2 rounds were that one. So they went 7-1 after being down 4-0.
I guess being attack on coastline is kind of hard.
Like,
apparently,
I don't even think it's that. I still just am very deeply concerned for St. Clair's attack in general. Like I'm sorry, their defense is immaculate. No need to work on it. Whatever. I wish there was like something, you know, they can go in there and just strictly play retakes constantly. Because like that's the biggest thing right now is from my knowledge, just watching these games throughout the season so far, attacking rounds have definitely been a problem. I would say with confidence that we probably have only won maybe like 25% of attacking rounds.
Definitely seems that way at times, but so of course, St. Clair going to be going up 1-0 as we get ready to hop into Cafe next. And I'm still, even though that went exactly as the Saints needed it, that's only part 1.
Yeah,
they need to make this next map happen.
It is only part 1, completely as you were saying, completely agreed. And now that map 1 is out of the way, I think that if the only way, well, I don't want to say that. There's plenty of ways the Saints still win this game, right? They could easily have an upset on Oregon, but me and you both know in the back of our minds, we'd feel a lot more comfortable ending it right here, right now. Because at this point in time, you look at this, right? You say Saints predict to win 100%. They're up 1-0 in the series. They're going into their favored kind of map. This is looking good, right? Until you're like, okay, let's say Saints drop that map too. They've lost every favorite that they have going for them.
Yeah, and the problem too is, yes, this is a map that they've, I like they're very comfortable with. The problem is it's such a well-liked map across
That
all of
everybody is.
esports or all of R6 collegiate esports. That's basically everybody's played this map to death at this point. So even if it's not somebody's favorite map, they probably all have strats for it. They would have had to at this point here. So it's going to be a little bit interesting, but we are going to quickly take a 5-minute break before we hop into game number 2, get the lobby all set up, and maybe rest our voices for just a second. Because if game 1 was or if game 2 is as awesome as game 1, we are going to be just crawling
We're in for a treat.
out of the classroom when this series is done. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in 5.